You just never think that when you move into your brand new house, you would have to rip down the backsplash. Am I spoiled? Am I entitled? Maybe. Or maybe it's time we just stop living with things that aren't right or that we just don't like. Welcome to the House to Home Visual Diary episode 11. If you're new here, we're getting ready to put up a backsplash. If you've been around, then you already know the story behind this backsplash. So, a little recap. This was the backsplash that we had when we moved into the house. It was pretty much a fail. Even though it had the potential to be a very beautiful backsplash, and I could have made it work and it would have been a very beautiful kitchen, it was wrong. It was crooked. It was vertical instead of horizontal. They didn't take it all the way behind the cabinet, technically, or to give the illusion that it was behind the cabinet. And while the shelves were gorgeous, they were way too tall for me to reach. This was not a kitchen, in particular, a backsplash wall that was made for someone that wasn't an Amazon. Me. So we had the company that did the install come back out, take everything down and fix our walls. And then we went on the hunt for a new backsplash. We also went on the hunt for someone to install said backsplash. You wouldn't believe the price quotes that we got, the people who told us that we couldn't do what we wanted to do. Because my thinking was, since we had to put a new backsplash in anyway, why not put the one that we really wanted? We were even willing to pay the difference, although we are currently paying for the whole backsplash in our mortgage. So it took a few weeks after the backsplash came down. We just had blank white walls, which actually were kind of nice. I think there's some virtue in having a blank white wall. However, if you have any type of stove or place to cook your food, you know that a white wall will get damaged very fast from all of the food splatter. So we decided that we would do something a little bit different. I watch a lot of home improvement shows. I follow home accounts on Instagram, TikTok, and even on YouTube. And one of the things I had been seeing was lots of cool things that people are doing with solid surface. And also just bringing that backsplash down to my level, making the kitchen my kitchen. Making the kitchen more accessible, making things more reachable, just in general, making it a kitchen that is not about the height of the ceilings or the height of the house. I didn't need a grand kitchen. I needed a kitchen that worked for me. I needed the kitchen to be more grounded, I guess. So my hubby started watching videos and I started looking for large format tile, and we decided that we were going to figure this thing out. I knew that I wanted this long wall to have a long expanse of tile with a shelf. I had seen it in a few places online. It's not something that's offered by a lot of tiling companies because we would have to put wall tile like for a bathroom or floor tile on the wall. And a lot of the places that we talked to, a lot of the people that did tile, they had no idea how we were supposed to do that. They thought that we needed to reinforce our walls. Somebody tried to sell us granite for the walls, which was like 3/4 inch thick, which was crazy. So we decided that we were going to have to do this ourselves. And that's what we did. Now here's the part where I'm going to my man you. I am so over the moon because my man, he figured it out, y'all. It took some trial and error. We had some tense moments. So if you didn't know, my daughter's best friend, who is like my second daughter, is an interior designer, and she helped us source some tile, and we really liked it, but we still weren't sure. Then we went to Home Depot and we bought some tile that had absolutely no variation in color. It was white and gray and black, and we actually took that back. 5 boxes of this long porcelain tile. I have muscles I didn't know existed. Then we went to Floor and Decor and we found these tiles. Actually, it was our second visit to Floor and Decor. We thought we wanted another tile from Floor and Decor, but then when we brought it home, it wasn't quite right. So we decided to go with this large format tile, porcelain tile. I think it is about 1/4 of an inch thick, not the 3/4 that the granite was. And while marble is the dream, y'all, it really is. It's way more affordable than the marble, but is marble-like. It had the veining, and the veining wasn't just black and white. It wasn't just gray. It had variation. It has variation, and it picks up all of the colors in the family room and in the kitchen. So we found the perfect tile. All that was left to do was to match it. You just want to make sure that the veins somewhat line up and match so that it gives the illusion of one long piece of stone. I'm about to get my kitchen back. From my perspective, the hardest part was matching up the tile. Honestly, I'm sure my husband would definitely beg to differ because he had to do all of the work. I think for him, if he would have to say what was the most challenging part was figuring out how to get the shelf on the wall and make it look like it's floating. But he did it, you guys. I'm so excited he did it. So first of all, as I stated earlier, we used large format porcelain tile, 24 by 48 inch porcelain tile that looks like marble, which is usually used for either a large surface like a shower or for floors. That's what we used for this backsplash. That was perfect. Now, for the shelf, we used actual marble, but not just any marble. We used the marble threshold, that marble that you have, like, say, in between your bedroom and your bathroom on the floor. Typically, that's marble or granite or some really strong solid surface type material. It just so happens that the threshold is the perfect width and the perfect thickness to create the shelf. So all we had to do was figure out how to recess it into the wall. And the way that we did that was by cutting that groove into the wall that you saw earlier above the tile and placing the brackets that will be holding the shelf into the studs. That makes it strong enough to hold those heavy marble thresholds. They're actually not that heavy, but it's not something that you want coming out of the wall. Recessing those brackets into the wall served two purposes. One, we were able to anchor the brackets into the studs, which would ensure that we weren't tearing the drywall down. Those anchors are in the studs, securely in the studs. The other purpose that it serves is it helped us to hide the brackets. So you only see a small portion of the brackets. Now, the brackets that we bought were stainless steel. We made sure that they could hold like a heavy weight, like 50 pounds or more, even though I don't plan on putting a lot of heavy things on these shelves. The weight of the shelf itself still needs to be supported. So we made sure that the brackets were very sturdy, and we spray painted them. We spray painted them like an off-white, which is the primary color in the marble and in the porcelain. And we tried to match up the marble and the porcelain as best we could. And I think we did a pretty good job. It helps to recess those brackets into the wall, though, also because then when you place the large format tile on top of them, you hide the bottom part of the bracket. So if you're going to see any of the bracket, it's just the part that's holding up the shelf. And honestly, the only way that you can really see the brackets is if you're short like me and you can see under those shelves. All that was left to do at this point is just to fill in that gap in between the tile and the shelf underneath, seal everything up with silicone, and of course grout the grout lines, which we did. Of course, this is still a work in progress, but I am already pleased with the results. And I'm excited because I get to have my pot filler installed again. Oh my gosh. It seems like this is taking forever, but I'm obsessed. So we're on the home stretch. It is Sunday morning. These are not the outlet covers that are going here, by the way. I'm actually gonna order some that look like marble. I could paint them, but these outlet covers are very bulky. I have another use for those. So quickly, the pros of doing this backsplash, it was much easier than doing a regular backsplash with all of the tiny little tiles. The cons are that you do have to cut into the walls. I'll elaborate more on the backsplash and the kitchen in a future video, and I will give you guys much more in-depth details about how we did this. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna have to love you and leave you here, but I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe if you wanna see more videos like this. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, like this video, and hit the notification bell so you always know when I upload. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.